Welcome to Financial Futures, your go-to source for the latest insights and trends in finance, real estate, and the economy. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and make informed financial decisions, you're in the right place. Today, we're tackling a hot topic on everyone's mind: will there be a housing market crash? With home prices recently hitting a record high and then suddenly dipping, is this the beginning of the end for the housing market as we know it? Let's start by looking at the numbers. In June 2024, the median sale price of a home in the U.S. reached $439,500, marking a staggering 47% increase over the past 5 years. But just a month later, in July, we saw a slight dip of 0.6%. What's going on here? Is this a sign that the market is about to crash? Before we jump to conclusions, let's take a closer look at the past few years. We've seen this pattern before in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Home prices also dipped slightly from June to July. This suggests that what we're seeing now could be more about seasonality than a looming crash. But is that the whole story? One of the biggest triggers for a housing market crash is a wave of foreclosures. Back in 2010, during the last major crash, there were a staggering 2.9 million foreclosures in a single year. But what about now? In 2024, foreclosures are actually down compared to last year, and they're nowhere near those 2008 levels. So, could a surge in foreclosures crash the market this time? The data says otherwise. Another factor that could lead to a market crash is an unexpected spike in the supply of homes. Right now, there are about 1.81 million homes listed for sale, a 17.7% increase from last year. But here's the catch: that's still below pre-pandemic levels, where we had 2.4 million homes on the market. With demand still outpacing supply, how could prices plummet? The math just doesn't add up. So, what about a recession? Could that be the catalyst for a housing market crash? It's possible a deep recession with high unemployment could reduce demand and increase foreclosures, creating a perfect storm. But here's the thing: the U.S. government and the Federal Reserve are fully aware of the risks. They're not going to let the economy spiral into a deep recession. Why? Because of the looming debt crisis. To prevent a downturn, the Fed is likely to cut interest rates and inject money into the economy. In fact, the market is already anticipating these moves, which is why mortgage rates have started to drop. The Federal Reserve is expected to start cutting interest rates as early as September 2024. If they continue on this path, we could see mortgage rates drop even further, potentially dipping into the 5% range in 2025. But remember, lower rates typically lead to higher home prices, not a crash. So, in an environment where interest rates are falling and the Fed is pumping money into the economy, how can we expect home prices to collapse? The system is set up to keep the market stable, even if it means creating more inflation. I understand why so many people are hoping for a housing market crash. It's not out of malice, but because they want to afford a home. Affordable housing is something we all want, but just because things are tough now doesn't mean they can't get worse. To truly make housing affordable, we need more homes, lower inflation, higher wage growth, and a stronger labor market. But the reality is, those things aren't happening right now. The housing shortage persists, inflation is still a challenge, real wages aren't keeping up, and the labor market is showing signs of strain. But don't lose hope. Just because it's more challenging to buy a home today doesn't mean it's impossible. It's about being informed and making smart decisions. And for those of you who already own a home, now's the time to appreciate what you have. You've dodged a bullet, especially if you've been in your home for over 3 years. My goal is to provide you with honest, accurate information, helping you navigate these tricky waters without waiting for a crash that might never come. So, what do you think about the current housing market? Is a crash really around the corner, or are we just seeing the natural ebb and flow of the market? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's discuss. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Financial Futures community. Thanks for watching, and as always, I wish you a prosperous day ahead.